What do you say about someone you've looked up to for the last 20 years? Hello. For those of you that don't know my name, I'm Colin Lloyd, Mark Lloyd's middle son. My dad taught me many things over the last 20 years of my life. I'd like to highlight two of the main ones that I'll take into my life every day. Number one, treat people with respect and dignity the way that you would want them to treat you. And number two, work hard. My dad had one of the best work ethics I have ever seen in a human being, and it showed from day one. My dad was one of the greatest people in the world, and he would always instill in his kids, if you work hard, treat people well, your name will be up at the top, because that's all you have at the end of the day, is what your name is. First, I'd like to talk about just how great of a person and how generous my dad was. I remember there was a time when a coworker of my dad's had a little bit of a family tragedy happen, and he just needed a few things to get by. We had two old couches in our garage, and it wasn't 5 minutes after my dad got off the phone with the gentleman. He had those couches loaded up in the back of the truck and headed to wherever he was at. Because my dad knew that just because somebody's down in their luck or something happened to them, if you treat them well, good things will happen to you also, and you'll be in good graces with them. Another instance I can say is whenever someone would call my dad and needed just somebody to talk to, somebody to sit down and talk with, just talk something out, he was always there for them. My dad would drive to the end of the earth if it meant that he was going to help somebody. And the second thing is how my dad had just such a great work ethic. My dad's last job, he became the service manager of a large dealership in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He had to take classes, perform tests, and he had to do them at a very, very high rate and do them very well. My dad did them so well that he was awarded the GM Ring of Excellence for his performance on these tests and just how well he did on them. He was presented with this at a national convention in front of countless number of dealers, service managers, and executives from certain car companies. My dad would always rise the employees up because he knew that if it wasn't for the employees, he wouldn't get a lot of the accolades. This accolade was on him. But he knew that in working hard, treating your employees right, and always doing your best, you could get anything done. Another thing that brings to mind involving my dad's work ethic is just how much he took pride in his job, doing things right the first time. Because if you do them right, do them in a timely fashion, people will always remember and come back because of that customer service. To conclude, my dad was my best friend for 20 years. Unfortunately, he had passed away. As he would say, life happens. But because he treated people so well, and because of his strong work ethic, people will always remember Mark Lloyd was an outstanding individual and an outstanding person. And like he would always tell us, treat people well, do your job right, and at the end of the day, people will remember your name because that's all you have.